To finish the first part of the day, we have two very big names in the tech industry. The first one is Romain. I know Romain for, I think, more than 10 years. Romain was with TechCrunch for, 13 years, I think. So at the time when you raised a Series A, like to become a real man or real woman, you had to get an article from Romain on TechCrunch. He was covering like every startup in the EU, and he really helped build the ecosystem in the EU. So thanks for that, Romain. The other one, so I think Mistral was created in April 2023. May, and you joined in June. In June. So we have Lélio, the VP of engineering at Mistral, one of the biggest private company in Europe, to finish the day, to finish the first part of the day. So enjoy it. It's gonna be awesome. Good luck, guys.
All right. Good morning, everyone. So happy to have this conversation. We prepped, we had a call. The conference is called Off the Radar, so I think we're going off script. I didn't take my notes on stage. I just want to have a genuine conversation because I feel the energy in the room and I want people to pay attention and not look at their phone. So the biggest question, you know what? I'm news-driven, and the biggest question that everyone is thinking about is the leak that you had last week, a new model coming out. When is Le Chaton Fat going to be released?
That's a great question. Le Gros Chaton is being trained right now, and we.
So it's Le Gros Chaton, that's Le Chaton Fat.
Exactly. We have to remain true to our roots, and hopefully we'll have news to announce in the upcoming weeks or months.
Okay, I hope there are no reporters in the room, otherwise there are going to be articles this afternoon.
Absolutely.
So very, very interesting what Flexion is doing. You're working on some robotics as well at Mistral. Can you tell us a bit about that as well?
Absolutely, yeah. We do have a team that is working on not the manufacturing part of the robots, but really VLM, so the models that help basically your robots to go from what we used to do with robotics, which was just doing the same gesture over and over again in big companies, but now using those new models to be able to give an instruction. It's a bit fuzzy. You have an image, you have multiple sensors, and you want the robot to be able to adapt. And this is obviously about moving boxes, but also performing some actions in factories. And we do have a big team in Paris working on that. The lab is amazing, a lot of arms.
It's crazy because you have models, obviously, robots. You have a separate company building data centers with financial partners, probably a lot of debt and things like that. Obviously, you're deploying a lot of models with big clients, CMA, CGM, CMA, CGM, I don't know how you say in English, and others. Airbus, you just announced, that's right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Feels like you're trying to do everything all at once. Do you think you have the power to go through all these projects at the same time?
It's a good question. It's honestly a true challenge to be able to do all of that at once. We're one of the big players, one of the big frontier lab in the world, and the equity that we raised, the story that we're building, requires us to be doing everything because no such company has existed in Europe before. And to do this, to basically be able to solve the use cases of enterprises, which is what we're doing, we need to be able to do everything. You cannot go to a customer, to CMA, and say, okay, that's great. We have those amazing language models, but when you need voice, then you need to go to use this model. And then when you need OCR, you need to use this model. So we need to have a bundled offering. And so this requires working on multiple work streams in parallel. It is hard, but we have amazing results in the way we achieve this.
And when you see companies like Gradium, for instance, coming up here on stage and focusing specifically on voice, speech to text, text to speech, speech to speech in the future, maybe. Obviously, you have Voxtral as well at Mistral, which I've played around as well with the IPA. Works really well, congrats. Gradium works also really well. Not going to rate them, but very interesting what Gradium is building. Do you feel like these up-and-coming competitors focusing on just one single thing are going to get better than you at this very specific thing, or do you think having this horizontal approach is actually an asset
That's a good question. I think the story is quite different, and Gradium is building great products and great models. We're really focusing on, again, providing the end-to-end experience, and this is why we have compute. This is why we're building data centers. The story is that you can actually go to production using AI, owning the chain from the bare metal to the actual application layer going to production. And for this, we need to do everything. The fact that there are other companies having a different approach, I mean, I think that's great as well. It's helping the scene go further. But on our side, to actually transform BNP, others, huge organizations, you need to have everything, because otherwise they will just buy somewhere else. And then at some point they're like, okay, why should I use Mistral models if all the rest of my stack is not Mistral? So what we do right now is we build observability, we build compliance, we build enterprise, we build workflows, everything that you need, and we are actually now in production with hundreds of thousands of users, multiple use cases, because we own all of this.
Okay, they want an all-in-one solution. Very interesting. So as a reporter for 13 years, my job was to re-ask the same question over and over again. So for the third time, I'm going to rephrase it slightly, and I think we're going to get down to this very specific question. Are you betting on all these things so that if the market goes in one direction, you're going to follow the market? For instance, if tokens and inference and building data centers become the real mode, even though I hate this word, but the real mode, then you have a bet. But if the market evolves through the application layer, then you have Vibe and Vibe Work and all these new products that you announce at the AI Now Summit. Is it also a way to follow the market and make sure you're not going to be left behind?
I mean, the strategy is not to try it all and see what works. It's addressing the needs. And then obviously, when you make all those bets, you need to readjust. You need to see where is the market going, and what we are doing now is not what we were doing a year ago. So obviously, we adjust a lot. Coding models have become huge in the past month. We're investing a lot in coding now. We used to do it before, but now we see that it works, and so we can invest more resources in this because we see how the industry is evolving. So obviously, it gives us an edge because we can pivot quite easily. We're not starting new projects from scratch each time we see where the industry is going. But it's all part of the same story. And currently, there is no thing that we invested in where we're like 3 years after, why did we do this? All of it makes sense in the big picture that we're trying to address.
Okay, let's switch topic now. And I want to talk about your personal story at Mistral as well. So as Tanguy said, you joined month number 2 of the company. Bring us back to the room. How was the conversation like when, I don't know, you came to them, or did they come to you and tell you to join? What happened in June of 2023?
So we had those conversations in February or March, I think. And Arthur came to me and was like, I'm still at DeepMind, but we are having those conversations with an amazing set of investors, and they're going to pour more than 100 millions in a company that does not exist yet. However, Guillaume and Tim...
Sounds like a scam, by the way.
Yes, absolutely so. That's what I said. So I said no at first.
Is it Bitcoin? Is it...
and they were like, we really want to be building those kind of models. We want them to be open source. And currently you have those huge players, mostly American players, with the narrative that the technology is too dangerous, that people cannot be trusted with it, and that they need to be the gatekeepers because they're the good guys. And obviously, this narrative didn't work, and we didn't buy it. So yeah, Arthur came to me and said, we're building a top-tier team. It's just going to be less than 10 of us, but trust me, it's going to work. So obviously, it did feel like a scam a bit. But we briefly assembled this team starting early June 23, and worked hard for 3 months, and we released the first model in
7B,
September.
right?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
So at the time, I don't know if you remember, but I think the way you released it was kind of genius. You shared a magnet link on Twitter. I don't know if it was called X back then. So people could just copy and paste in a BitTorrent client and download the model and do whatever they wanted with it, which was both very geeky in a way, because a magnet link is like a secret passphrase in a way, but also very cool because it's on your laptop. So if you have the right tools, LM Studio, I don't know what existed back then, but you could run it yourself on your laptop. Pretty cool. And over the years, obviously, Mistral is not a scam. You've grown quite a lot and did some amazing things. Tell us about what Mistral is today. Like, how big is the team and what does it feel like?
Yeah, so it's almost 900 of us. We're spread out between Paris. We have a huge office in the Bay Area, in Palo Alto. Also offices in London, in Singapore, in the Netherlands as well. So it's quite of a distributed team, partially split between research, working on main models, engineering, my team, building the platform and all the product. And the goal here is to build value on top of the completion models so that you can deploy the whole stack. And then we have a huge solutions team that is in charge of deploying use cases with the customers. And the goal here is not to do POCs. It's not to demonstrate that AI can do things. It's to actually go to production and change organizations. Those are the three main axes. We're still growing a lot, hiring a lot, many different fields in research, really trying to invest a lot in that.
Are you going to open an office here in Brussels?
I think there is one office in Brussels with one person. I don't know who that person is, but there.
Raise your hand.
But there are 10 other Belgian people in Paris and the Netherlands. And so we are also growing our own compute. So we mentioned data centers. We've opened the first ones. So we are now able to scale up basically the training of our models. So we're still investing a lot in making the best models and basically transforming AI now.
It must be so weird between this first summer, which was 3 years ago, but in AI years it was 15 years ago, to be honest. It was just the 10 of you working on Mistral 7B, sort of hacking this together, probably high energy, everyone knows each other, and very family-style company. And now 900 people. Can you keep the same culture at this size with people spread all around the world, working on so different topics? Does it still work at scale?
It's tough, but it's definitely a challenge that we're addressing because we want this company to still be ours in a way. And so we work hard on onboarding, on making sure that people are aligned with what we're trying to build and the mission. And we see people who are super driven, who understand how important it is to understand and master this technology, especially in a new European context, and especially in a context where we don't believe that we're going to be gods with AI or things like this. We believe that we're going to transform the world. And we're working hard on keeping those like really well-aligned people, but obviously it's hard. I think we've done an amazing job at preserving this culture. We're opening a new headquarters in Paris that is huge, and we're investing a lot on culture to make it a really nice place to work.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about products now. You had this huge conference, AI Now Summit. It was in May, I think. You talked a lot about rebranding, new products, basically updating the platform across the board. Among those announcements, you've switched the branding around Le Chat, which was your chatbot, to Vibe. I feel like Le Chat was a pretty great brand. Vibe is pretty generic. And why did you create this sort of umbrella brand for all your products around, chatbot, but also coding and co-work style?
There are two parts to this. The first one is that we're really trying to remove the split that you had between the products. So before you had a CLI product, and then you had a web-based product, and then maybe a desktop product and mobile one. All of this is basically multiple faces of the same diamond, and this is what we're trying to build. So you can work in your terminal, upload, teleport your sessions on the web, having it run in the cloud using sandboxes. We bought Koyeb, a great sandbox company, earlier this year. So we're able to fully execute code asynchronously, and then you get it back on your mobile phone and things like this. So all of this is the same experience, and for this you need the same product. Obviously, Le Chat is not really addressing coding products, mobile products, and things like this. And the other side to it is obviously that it's a very French, very nice name, but very French. Try to pronounce it with an English speaker. I will not do it here, but Le Chat, yes. And it has other meaning and connotations. So this is also a way for us to basically showcase our product on a more international scene.
Okay, sounds like you're down to serious business now. There was these articles, these reports saying that, as you said, you worked a lot on the CLI product, the coding product. You're going heads to heads with Cloud Code, Codex, let's name them. There were some reports saying that even internally at Mistral, some people were using competitors to help them code and sort of switching back and forth between Vibe code and also maybe Cloud Code or I don't know what. Can you tell us more about that?
I mean, I don't know what is the question here.
Is it true? And do you think at some point you're going to be able to cancel your subscriptions or your token budget to this product?
So the goal here internally is to say whatever you need to be productive, just do it, and it depends. Some people are using Vibe, some people might be using Cloud Code, I don't know. The goal here is basically to
be realistic in a way.
Well, you need to have the same weapons than your opponents, I would say, to put it in a very martial way. I think the goal for us is definitely to accelerate. We're investing a lot, again, in those coding models. To build amazing coding models, you need amazing compute. To need amazing compute, you need amazing money. The amazing money currently is a lot on the other side of the ocean, and we're working hard to bring it here in Europe. But the practice of the engineers is really spread out between everything. You have the model itself, you have the harness that we're investing a lot on, and you can mix and match any of those to basically be more productive. We're investing a lot also on internal tooling that are not public, on how you can actually get rid of all the product requirements and just rush. And one of those products is using Mistral models and is internal to Mistral, and it's the most widespread.
Okay, maybe just a couple more questions because we're nearly out of time. One more question on competitors. What was the reaction at Mistral when Fable Access got disabled around 10 days ago?
I cannot talk about Mistral. I can say that some people saying
personally, what did you think about it?
Well, I mean, you get what you
what you ask for.
What you ask for. So when you
self-inflicted wounds.
When you say to everyone that this technology is too dangerous and that you're the only one who can actually master it because open source is dangerous and Europe is dangerous, then sometimes karma strikes back. But on the other hand, I think it shows to a lot of our customers and prospective customers that when you're building serious business currently right now on top of AI, you cannot do this with an unreliable partner.
Is your email inbox from the sales team, GTM team, suddenly like getting a lot of inbound emails from potential leads because of this move from Anthropic and the US government?
Yes.
Nice. I think we're going to leave it at that. Thank you so much, Lélio.
Thank you, Romain.
Thank you so much, guys. One quick announcement before we close the day from Raphaël.
Thank you, Romain. Thank you, Lélio. I think everyone is thinking about lunch now, so we're going to lunch to the Fox, which is on the opposite side of the venue. So you just can leave from this side, go on to the right-hand side, and then I think we're extremely excited for what's coming up for this afternoon. Great lineup still, so I hope you still keep the same energy after lunch, and enjoy. Thank you.